Hey guys, my name's Gary. I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic and drug addict. Excuse me. Today I want to talk a little bit about friendships and friendships um, made in Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous. I'm a recovering alcoholic and drug addict. I've been sober 9 months, and I had multiple years, and I went out, and that's a whole different story. But I went out on prescription medication. Um, so I saw a friend today I haven't seen for probably 15 years, and I met her in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous, and she has 41 years of sobriety, and she's not even 60 years old. And it's an amazing story. She got sober when she was 16 or 17 years old, and she flies 747s for a living. So that's what sobriety did for her, and what she did for herself with her sobriety. The friendships in AA that I've made, they're like these some of them, not all of them, but some of them are like these lifelong friendships. I have this one story when my son passed away from an accidental fentanyl overdose, and when I got the news, I hit the floor, and I've said it on many videos that I had a total breakdown. And then the very next day, I needed to catch a plane and go to Long Beach to go identify his body. And all I could do was put a bunch of pick up dirty, I hadn't gone to the laundromat, and I just picked up all my dirty clothes, and I threw them in a fucking bag, and I knew I had to get on a plane. My plane left at noon. I knew I had to get to the airport at like 11 o'clock, and I'm sitting in my truck. It's probably 10:30 in the morning, and I'm going, how in the fuck am I going to get on this plane and travel? Like, how do I interact with people? I mean, I'm a basket case. I'm a mess, right? And a guy that I hadn't talked to for 10 years. We were good friends in the 10 years I was sober. And then he was actually one of these guys I think I loaned about $4,000 to, and he paid me back the day he said he was going to pay me back. And I know if he wasn't sober, that probably would never happen, right? But so I'm sitting in my truck. I'm getting ready to go to the airport, and I'm thinking, I can't do this. How am I going to get on a plane? How am I going to do this without crying and just being a mess on the airplane in the airport? How can I do this? And a guy I hadn't talked to for over 10 years calls me, and he goes, "Hey Gary, it's Randy." And he didn't even need to say who it was, because I knew when he said, "Hey Gary," I knew exactly who he was. And that's a pretty good impression, actually. Hey Gary. I knew exactly who it was. And that voice, if you knew Randy, that voice is a voice of strength. He's one of these pillars of strength in Alcoholics Anonymous. And I don't know, shit, he's got to have over 20 years now. I think he had 5 or 6 or something when I went in, so that's shit. He's got to have 25 years probably. And that voice told me, "You're not alone." And he said, Randy heard through somebody else that I was in trouble, and him and I are friends, even though we hadn't spoke for 10 years, maybe a little bit on Facebook back and forth, but just, hey, what's up, But he heard I was in trouble. He got my number. He called me, and that I he probably has no idea how big that phone call was, but it came in and it was like a God's timing type of thing, because I really had no idea I was gonna get on that airplane. And he says, Gary, I heard what happened, man. I'm living in Arizona. I'm gonna be going through Palm Springs. That's where I was flying in to stay with my parents. I'm gonna be driving through Palm Springs. We'll hook up, right? I'm gonna come see you. That was enough to put my shit together and get on that fucking plane, because I thought to myself, I'm gonna get on the plane to see this motherfucker, man. I give him a big hug, man. And he kept his word. The day I was leaving for the airport, he said, and the guy was running on no sleep. He worked till, I don't know, it was like the wee hours of the morning, and then he had to get up at like 2 or 3 in the morning to be here. I don't think he slept, and he came through and picked me up and took me to my brother's, and we were driving. We were driving in the town where we lived, but we haven't both. We're both older, and Randy's a big buffed out guy and everything. I used to be, so our biceps are not quite as what they used to be. But he goes, so we're driving, and he goes, "Where's Alton? Where's Alton Parkway?" And I go, "Yeah, it's up here a little ways, right?" And we got fucking totally lost, man. We got lost in our hometown because we hadn't been there for, I don't know how long it was for Randy. It had been years for me. And we were just two sober guys, two sober friends. I was in trouble, and he was taking care of me for the day. And those are the kind of people you find in AA. You got to allow those friendships to happen. My natural instinct, when somebody says, hey, you want to come over, somebody I don't know, hey, you want to come over and watch the game, or hey, you want to go grab some tacos or something? I'm like, no, I'm good, thanks. That's my natural thing, is to not get close to people. And I know that that's not the healthy thing to do for me. So I take contrary action. And I'm in a new place right now. For me, I'm in Palm Springs, and I've been to some meetings out here and stuff, but I'm getting to know people. I look them in the eye and I talk to them. And a guy asked me, hey, you want to go to a men's stag? A guy I had been talking to, but didn't really know that well, and I met him, and God, we had a great connection. I mean, if you're new in AA and this sounds like you, take contrary action, man. It changes your fucking life. So taking contrary action on those relationships. When I first came to AA, not this time around, but when I first got to AA when I was like 30, I was coming out of a really tough marriage and divorce. And I just, I was there probably, I wanted to get sober and everything, but fuck. The meetings, there was a lot of pretty girls at the meeting. I was going to the meeting probably for the pretty girls. And whatever it takes, But the relationships, man, is the first word of the 12 steps is we. Okay, so it's a program not meant to do alone. Okay, it's not I. Okay, I admitted I was powerless over alcohol. My life is unmanageable. No, it's we. We admitted we were powerless over alcohol, and our lives became unmanageable. And that we for such a small word, right? It's such a massive impact on a human being's life if you allow it. If you allow it. And I'm learning. I'm still, I'm 56 years old, and a lot of times, I guess I do it until it gets comfortable, just like meetings, and if somebody asks me to go to a meeting today, I usually just say, yeah, I'll meet you there, if I don't have anything going on or whatever. But it used to be, no, I'm good, I was just so afraid, frightened, and, frightened of what people think, or selfish and self-centered. I'd rather sit home and think about my problems or think about how I'm going to work them out. Today I learned I got to let that shit go. I got to if I got a big problem, the main thing about that problem is stop exerting myself on it. If there's nothing I can do about it, let the fucking thing go. Acceptance. Page 417, acceptance is the answer to all my problems. And not, accepting, my life is shit and I don't have a job and I'm not going to, do anything about it today. I'll just accept that. I'm talking about when shit's going sideways and you've got no power over it. And, like the death of my son, until I accepted that, my son is no longer here and I can't hug him anymore and I can't embrace him, speak to him. I still speak to him, but I can't speak to him face to face. Our way of communication is different. Until I accepted that, I couldn't be happy and I couldn't be sober. So hopefully you guys get something out of this. I'm going to keep it short today, 12 minutes, 13 seconds. So friendships, guys, put your hand out and look someone in the eye and say, how are you doing today? And that's been working for me. So, and then listen, see how you can help them out. I'll talk to you later, you guys. I'll be back.